You're sitting in the same room. Maybe you're on the couch together. Maybe you're having dinner. And on the surface, everything looks fine. But there's this quiet feeling you can't shake, like you're alone, even though they're right there. Like you're speaking, but nothing is actually reaching them. You tell yourself you're overthinking it. You remind yourself of the good moments. You make excuses for the distance. But that feeling doesn't go away. Here's what nobody tells you about love fading. It rarely ends with a fight. It rarely ends with a confession. Most of the time, it disappears slowly, quietly, in small moments you were taught to overlook. And that's exactly what this video is about. Today, we're going through 10 signs your partner doesn't love you anymore. And I want to be clear about something before we start. Some of these signs are obvious. You've probably heard them before. But a few of them are going to look like nothing. One of them might even look like a good thing. And that's precisely why people miss them for months, sometimes years. We're also going to talk about why this happens, not just what the signs are, but what's going on underneath them, because understanding the psychology behind it is the only way you stop blaming yourself for something that was never about you. Stay until the end. Sign number 9 is the one most people never see coming. Sign 1. They stop sharing the small things. There was a time when they couldn't wait to tell you something funny that happened, a story from work, a thought they had on the drive home, something small and ordinary that they wanted you to know about. That stops being a random moment and starts being a pattern. Conversations shrink. You talk about logistics now, bills, schedules, what to eat, the kind of exchanges you'd have with a roommate, not a partner. Psychology calls this the loss of mutual disclosure. Relationships are built on two people revealing themselves to each other over time. When one person stops offering emotional content, stops bringing you into their inner world, it's because they no longer see you as their safe place. It's not always dramatic. It often sounds like one-word answers. It looks like a phone being picked up mid-conversation. It feels like talking to someone who's already somewhere else. Sign 2. Their touch becomes mechanical. Think back to how they used to touch you. Not necessarily in an intimate way, just the small things. The hand on your back when you walked past. The hand reaching for yours without thinking. The hug that lasted a moment longer than it needed to. When those disappear, it's easy to explain away. They're tired, they're stressed, it's just a phase. But physical affection in relationships isn't random. Touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. People reach for the people they're emotionally connected to instinctively, without planning it. When that instinct fades, it isn't usually a decision, it's a symptom. Pay attention to how a hug feels. Does it feel like something they meant or something they performed? Sign 3. They stop defending you. This one is quiet, easy to miss. When someone loves you, they protect your image without thinking about it. They clarify when someone misunderstands you. They hold your side in social situations even when it costs them something. They defend you when you're not in the room. When love fades, that instinct disappears. Social psychology explains it this way. People instinctively defend those they associate with their own identity. When the emotional bond weakens, so does that reflex. So you start noticing things. They stay silent when someone criticizes you. They laugh at a joke at your expense. They don't correct the wrong impression someone has of you. None of it is loud, but each moment is a small signal of where they've moved you in their mind. Sign 4. Their effort becomes transactional. There was a version of this relationship where they did things simply because it made you happy. They didn't need a reason. They didn't need to be asked. Love motivates voluntary effort, doing things for the other person because it feels good to do them. When that changes, you feel it before you can explain it. Now, when they help, there's a calculation underneath it. They do what's expected. They do what avoids conflict. But the spontaneous effort, the effort that came from caring, is gone. Behavioral psychology identifies this as a shift from intrinsic to extrinsic motivation. The person is no longer acting from affection, they're acting from obligation. And there's a specific moment where you feel the difference. It's in the tone. It's the gap between "I wanted to do this for you" and "you should have just told me earlier." Sign 5. They dismiss what you feel. You try to bring something up, something that's bothering you, something that matters, and they make you feel like you're overreacting. Maybe they change the subject. Maybe they turn it back on you. Suddenly you're the one who's too sensitive, too demanding, too much. In a healthy relationship, both people listen, not to respond, to understand. When someone loves you, your emotional state matters to them. Your discomfort makes them want to help. When that stops, conversations about feelings become one-sided negotiations that you always lose. And over time, you stop bringing things up at all. You start managing your own feelings alone. And that's when the loneliness really sets in. Not because you're physically alone, but because there's no one in that relationship actually receiving you anymore. Sign 6. They stop talking about the future. Pay attention to how they talk about what's coming. Not just big things, where you'll live, whether you'll get married, small things too. A trip next month, a plan for the holidays, even something as simple as a restaurant they want to try. Watch the pronouns. When someone is emotionally invested in a relationship, the future is automatically shared. They say "we." They assume your presence. They build plans around you without being asked to. When love fades, the language shifts before the behavior does. "I" replaces "we." Plans become vague when you're involved. Questions about the future get short, non-committal answers, or they get redirected entirely. This linguistic shift isn't always conscious. The brain stops coding the partner as part of its own future, and language is the first place that shows up. Sign 7. They show more energy everywhere else. This one is hard to see because on the surface, it looks like your partner is doing well. They're energized at work, they're engaged with their friends, they laugh easily when they're out, they seem lighter when they're not with you. And then they come home, or they sit down next to you, and something drains out of them. This contrast is one of the most telling signs that a relationship is quietly failing. A person who is emotionally checked out will often pour genuine energy and enthusiasm into every part of their life except the relationship itself, because the relationship has started to feel like a weight. Not necessarily because of something you did, but because emotional withdrawal creates its own feedback loop. The less they invest, the more draining the connection feels, the less they want to invest. You're not imagining it if being together feels like it depletes them. That energy contrast is real, and it tells you more than words ever will. Sign 8. They've stopped trying to repair things. Every couple has conflict. That's not the problem. The real question is what happens after. When two people are emotionally invested in each other, they repair quickly. They return to warmth because the relationship feels worth protecting. An argument might be painful, but there's an urgency to come back, to resolve it, to close the distance. Psychologist John Gottman spent decades studying couples and identified repair attempts as the single strongest predictor of whether a relationship survives. Couples in love make these attempts constantly. A small gesture, a soft word, a moment of reaching back toward each other. When love fades, those attempts stop, and what replaces them is something that can look like maturity, but isn't: indifference. The argument just ends. not because it was resolved, but because they no longer feel the urgency to fix it. Silence that follows conflict isn't always peace. Sometimes it's the sound of someone who has already decided the relationship isn't worth the effort of saving. Sign 9. They react with calm when you pull away. This is the one most people never see coming. Here's what you'd expect. If you pull back emotionally, if you become a little distant, if you express that you're unhappy, a partner who loves you responds with concern, some anxiety, some urgency to close the gap. That response is biological. When someone loves you, the thought of losing closeness activates a real stress response in the nervous system. It's involuntary. Now here's the sign. When your partner shows none of that, when you pull back and they seem almost relieved, when you express disappointment and they meet it with calm, that peace is not emotional health, it's the absence of emotional dependency, and it means they've already completed a significant part of the process of detaching from you. Politeness replaces care, tolerance replaces affection, routine replaces desire. The absence of guilt doesn't mean they've found balance, it means they've already let go. Sign 10. You feel it, but you keep explaining it away. The 10th sign isn't something they do, it's something you do. You feel the distance. You notice the patterns. Something in you registers that something is wrong, and then almost immediately you find a reason for it. He's been stressed at work. He's going through something. It's just a phase. He still says, "I love you." Doesn't that count for something? Psychology has a name for this. Cognitive dissonance. The mind's way of protecting you from a truth that feels too heavy to hold. You hold two conflicting things at once. Something is wrong and everything is fine, and your brain works overtime to make them both true. The brain is built to protect emotional bonds, even when they are breaking. And so you wait. You give it more time. You try harder. You make yourself smaller or larger, depending on what you think he needs. You do everything except ask the one question you were afraid to ask. Because somewhere underneath all of it, you already know the answer. That quiet knowing, the one you keep overriding, is often the most honest signal you have. Trust it. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. If you recognized yourself in these signs, the instinct is to blame yourself, to wonder what you did wrong, to go back through the relationship looking for the moment you caused this. Stop there. Love fading is not always about failure. Research consistently shows that emotional withdrawal often has nothing to do with the worth of the person being left behind. It has to do with the emotional capacity or incapacity of the person withdrawing. A partner who quietly disconnects without a conversation, without honesty, without giving you the chance to understand what's happening, that is not love failing. That is emotional immaturity expressing itself through avoidance. You didn't lose love, you lost the illusion that what you had was love. And that distinction matters. If this video helped you see something more clearly, even if it's uncomfortable, that clarity is the beginning of something better. Leave a comment below with the word "seen" if any part of this resonated with you. It helps me understand what you're going through and what to make next. And if someone in your life needs to hear this, quietly, without making it a conversation, share this with them. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is let them find the words they couldn't find on their own. Now, here's something worth thinking about before you go. We talked about the signs that love is fading, but there's a question underneath all of that, which is harder and more important. Why do we stay when we already know? The psychology of why people remain in emotionally empty relationships, despite the evidence, despite the pain, is one of the most fascinating and misunderstood patterns in human behavior. That's exactly what the next video on this channel is about.